Welcome everyone, my name's Dom, and I recently did a video on the PlayStation 5 versus the Xbox Series X, where I take them both and I try to figure out which one is the best console for you. Now, I ended up putting a pinned comment saying, if you think I forgot anything, please let me know. As a matter of fact, I did miss something, and actually it was Jago6 who left this comment, completing the circuit. You gave them both a fair comparison, however, you didn't even mention Xbox Game Pass at all. Why not? Xbox Game Pass allows anyone with a subscription to download and play all the games in the library at no extra cost. These games include MS first-party titles, MS being Microsoft, as well as third-party and also EA Play games, as well with Uplay joining in the future. And so to make it up to you guys, this video will be me comparing the PlayStation Plus service to the Xbox Game Pass service. So let's get started. Now, we did a little bit of research to try to figure out what the best way to compare both services are. I like to buy my games, but I do know that there are big pros and big cons to both of them. And so in this video, I want to figure out not only which one might be best for you, but which one in general, if I was going to pick, would I say is like the best between the two services. So let's start by comparing and contrasting the two services. Xbox Game Pass has 18 million current subscribers, where Xbox Live itself has 100 million. PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, 2.2 million subscribers for PlayStation Now. And for PlayStation Plus, we have 41.5 million. When a game is removed from the Xbox Game Pass library, you cannot play it anymore without buying it. However, with Game Pass, you can buy games for a discount of 10% for new games and 20% if the game has been out for longer than 3 months. With PlayStation Now, you can't play the game anymore once it's removed from the library without buying it. However, if you do buy the game, there is no PS Now discount. Now, for offline play, you can play any of the games that you download, but only on your home Xbox, your main primary Xbox. For PlayStation Now, you can play available downloaded games. However, a large portion of the PS Now games are stream only and they can't be downloaded. These games cannot be played offline, and all games are streamed at 720p. Now, with all the talk of development studios and publishers saying that game development is expensive, which is true, and that they're trying to find a way to cover their costs so they can continue to produce large games with large budgets, I asked myself, how the hell do these people get paid? For Xbox Game Pass, it really just depends on the company. And unfortunately, we could not find any of the info for how PlayStation Now games, like the developers of those games, get paid. We found some quotes of Phil Spencer talking about how they negotiate with the publishers to add games to Game Pass. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen here and read a few chunks of it myself. Smaller to mid-sized developer might be starting a game and say, hey, we're willing to put this game in Game Pass on our launch day if you guys will give us X dollars now. However, in some cases, Microsoft pays for the full production cost of a game's development, but still allows developers to generate more revenue by taking their title to retail, even for other platforms including PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. He went on to say others want agreements more based on usage and monetization, and whether it's a store monetization that gets created through transactions or usage. We're open to experimenting with many different partners because we don't think we have it figured out. When we started, we had a model that was all based on usage. Most of the partners said, yeah, we understand that, but we don't believe it, so just give us the money up front. Spencer added that he hopes to eventually settle on a hybrid model that's based on both usage and upfront payments. And I would say that that's fair. I've always thought that Phil Spencer was a really fair guy, and I think he does a really good job taking care of the development community and making sure that, everybody is treated fairly. It's not just some kind of like fast-made business deal. No schemes, right? Continuing on with the comparison, right now, Xbox Game Pass has 516 titles, and for PlayStation Now, there are reportedly more than 700 titles. The games that are available for Xbox Game Pass are Series X and S optimized games, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and original games. For PlayStation Now, you can download and stream PS4 and PS2 games. You can only stream PS3 games, and PS5 games are still a mystery at this point. What are you doing? No, go back to the chart. Some of the devices that you can use Xbox Game Pass on are obviously console, PC, and tablet and mobile devices, but Android only. Apparently, they are working on getting a cloud gaming thing for iOS in 2021. And then for PlayStation Now, you can play it on PS5, PS4, and PC. However, you can further extend this functionality using some of the remote play functions. If you have a Mac, you can get the remote play app. I talk about that in a few of my other videos, and you could take advantage of those services that way, kind of, sort of. Pricing wise, for Xbox Game Pass, it's $10 a month for console and PC. You can get the Game Pass, Xbox Gold, and EA Play bundle, 3 months for $1, and then it's $14.99 a month. But note that EA Play is only available with the Ultimate bundle. Separately, EA Play is $5 a month or $30 a year. For PlayStation Now, $60 a year, $25 for 3 months, and $10 for 10 months. But it's free for the first 7 days, and there are no bundles at all. Now, that part being said, there was that recent debacle where Microsoft was trying to double the price of Xbox Gold and Xbox Live, and people, I know on Twitter I saw it trending, people were freaking pissed. And I don't know if it's just me, but Microsoft seems to really be wanting to push this Xbox Game Pass service onto people, and a lot of people were saying that the reason that they were effectively doubling the price of Xbox Live was in order to push people more towards Game Pass. Now, as a consumer, from what I can tell, Xbox Game Pass seems like it's a great deal, but that shouldn't come at the cost of forcing people to pay more than what they already have, because for a lot of people, they probably still want to buy their physical games or just download their games and always have access to them and never worry about, if they pop out of the store that they're not going to be able to play them or anything like that. They just want to be able to have their games on their hard drive, do it the way that they've been doing it, no changes, and play online. Now, Microsoft has contracted that. They're going back to normal, and they're adding a couple perks and stuff like that. It was really good of them. Thank you, Microsoft, for doing that, and somehow thank you, social media, for giving people a platform to complain, to let companies know what we want and what we don't want. Moving on, both services have some additional perks. For Xbox Game Pass, it's day one releases, store discounts, exclusive in-game content, offers from third-party partners, such as 1 month of Disney Plus for free. If you get the Ultimate, you can stream to PC and Android, and you get EA Play. For PlayStation Now, you get to play PS exclusive games on PC and stream PS Now games to PC. And in some cases, you will get recent games within like a little rotation type thing. Now, for the final major talking point, how long do the games stay in the library? Well, there's really no definite answer, but it appears third-party games stay for Xbox Game Pass for a minimum of 3 months, and first-party games will stay much longer, if not permanently. And for PlayStation Now, it looks like it's more or less the same as Xbox Game Pass. So, comparing these two services, well, like on paper, and with everything that we researched and everything that we just talked about in this video, it seems like Xbox Game Pass is one hell of a deal. It seems like it is very customer first. There's no weird streaming stuff, and the games you're playing span a wide library. That's not to say that PlayStation Now doesn't have a wide library, but Microsoft seems to want to give you like an all-in-one Encompass service. You have EA Play. It's really only like $5 more or so than the standard Xbox Live subscription. So a price to what you get is awesome. My only real qualm with it, outside of not owning it, I'm a little old school and I like to own my games, but my only real major complaint is that once you get a game, unlike Games with Gold and unlike PlayStation Plus, where you get the game of the month and stuff like that, as long as you have the subscription, you can continue to play those games, which fair enough, they're giving you a game for free, and so they'll take whatever little chunks of money and send it off to the developers per the contract, per the deal, whatever. But for Game Pass, once the game's out of the library, it's out of the library, and if you only happen to download the game later in its life or later in its term in Xbox Game Pass, now you may have been playing it for a day or two, you didn't get a chance to finish it, you really enjoyed it, and now you're strong-armed into buying it, which by itself might even be a defense for the service, because it's effectively like a pseudo-rental period thing. You get to rent a game, and if you like it, you play through it, and if you really like it, you can buy it and continue to play it after the fact, or if you play it and you just like it enough just to finish beating it, and that's it, you're done with it, you don't really care about it, you don't want it on your thing anymore, there's that too. And if you start playing a game and you don't like it, you could just ditch it and then roll into another one. So, it's kind of a nice blend of different services, like a Blockbuster, what was that game service called? Gamefly, that was it, Gamefly, all mixed in with some really nice perks. And it seems like it's just a really good deal. And as long as it stays that way, and that's going to be the important part, stays that way, because too many times, too often do I see new online services get started, and then the price is great, you're getting great bang for your buck, and then the price just keeps going up and up and up and up and up, and then people start leaving the service, which is the dumbest thing ever. If you have people unsubscribing from your service, either provide more for what they're paying or reduce the price. That is how supply and demand works. You do not increase price to try to cover your costs of what it is that it's supposed to be doing. So make, your super fans of the service that aren't going to leave as easily cover the cost of the people who aren't. It is your job as the company to either provide more value or explain more about how it is a good value, or to reduce the price. You have to even those two things up. And it seems like PlayStation Now, as far as I can tell, I'm a PlayStation fan, but I'm not gonna lie, the Xbox Game Pass seems like it is a better deal. And for PlayStation Now, you get 720p and it's game streaming, and I would much rather have the game downloaded and installed on my console. So in the event the internet's out for some reason, I can at least play a game, because it's not like I'll be able to really do anything else. You know, YouTube requires the internet and what have you. And so like comparing it to Xbox Game Pass, it seems kind of lazy. It seems kind of just, you know, thrown in there. What I would much rather see is, and I talked about this, and that rumored new PSP that's coming out is a device where somehow, some way, Sony can get all of the old games, PS1, PS2, PSP, PS3, all those games that can play on one universal device. So now you have your PS5 that plays your PS4 and PS5 games, and then you have, it could even be a dedicated console. It could be a handheld, or it could be a dedicated console that's just all of them in one. Like, I don't see why Sony wouldn't make a new like PS3-esque device, sell it for $250. It plays PS1 games, PS2, and PS3. And that would be kind of a cool way to circumvent the whole backwards compatibility thing. For those people who want it, they can get an add-on. If they were to use remote play, they can, you know, attach it to their network, and then they could even remote into the device off their PS5 and then play the games that way. I don't know, something like that. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this comparison video. I hope that if you are trying to figure out which one's the better deal, or which one's the better value, or which one's more right for you, that we helped you with this video to figure out, you know, one way or another which one you want. So apologies for not including that in that video. If you like this video, definitely throw a like on it. Please consider subscribing. Check out some more of the videos on the channel. We absolutely appreciate it. Doing the new thing. Please consider sharing the video. It helps the channel out a lot. And as always, talk to you soon.